Have you ever wondered about the human cost of the ongoing Rohingya crisis? Let's take a closer look. The plight of the Rohingya, an ethnic minority from Myanmar, has become one of the world's most pressing humanitarian crises. Forced to flee their homes due to violent persecution, they embark on perilous journeys across the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea in search of safety. But the journey is fraught with danger. The conditions on these voyages are inhumane, with overcrowding, insufficient food and water, and the ever-present threat of the unforgiving sea. The death toll is a chilling testament to the severity of the crisis. In the year 2023 alone, at least 569 Rohingyas perished at sea, marking the highest death toll since 2014. Each number represents a life cut short, a family torn apart, a future extinguished. It is a crisis that has been worsening with time, as we'll see next. To truly understand the magnitude of this crisis, we need to delve into the numbers. Let's rewind the clock to the year when this crisis started to unfold, 2014. At the time, the figures were already alarming, with hundreds of Rohingyas losing their lives at sea. However, this was just the grim beginning of a harrowing journey. As the years rolled on, the death toll continued to rise. The Rohingyas, desperate for a better life, kept embarking on perilous journeys across the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. Each year, the sea claimed more lives, marking a tragic trajectory that seemed to have no end. Then came the year 2023, a year that stands out starkly in this dire chronicle. It was during this year that the crisis reached an unprecedented peak. At least 569 Rohingyas perished at sea. This shocking figure not only surpassed the previous years, but also marked the highest death toll since the beginning of this crisis in 2014. It's essential to understand that each digit in this death toll represents a life lost prematurely. Each number is a story of dreams shattered, of hope extinguished, of a journey cut short. Each one represents a human being who deserved a chance at a better life but was denied this basic right. So, why the sudden spike in 2023? The reasons are manifold and complex. The Rohingyas were fleeing squalid refugee camps in Bangladesh due to food ration cuts and increased gang violence. With their backs against the wall, they had no choice but to risk their lives on treacherous sea voyages in the hope of reaching safer shores. The year 2023 stands as a grim reminder of the escalating crisis. What does this tell us about the Rohingya crisis? Well, the tragic fate of the Rohingya people, many of whom are risking their lives on treacherous sea journeys, underscores a dire humanitarian crisis. The year 2023 was particularly fatal, with at least 569 Rohingyas losing their lives while crossing the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. These perilous journeys are often driven by despair and the dire conditions in the refugee camps, where food ration cuts and increased gang violence are rampant. A brutal counterinsurgency campaign in Myanmar has led to around 740,000 Rohingya Muslims fleeing to Bangladesh since 2017. Sadly, the plight of the Rohingya people doesn't end there. Their desperate attempts to reach Malaysia for work are often met with rejection, as countries like Thailand and Indonesia frequently turn them away or detain them. This escalating crisis urgently calls for international intervention and humanitarian support. The world cannot stand by as yet another tragedy unfolds in the Andaman Sea. The Rohingya crisis is not just about numbers. It's about lives lost, families torn apart, and a people's desperate struggle for survival and dignity.